Shanti. Greetings of peace, everyone. Thank you for being here. It is so lovely to see all of you, especially in person. And fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know what to say, but we are missing Sister Usha in person. But it is our fortune in a way to see her on Zoom, and she's going to be with us in just a couple minutes. But I thought maybe I should take this opportunity to introduce her, as she is a great Raj Yoga teacher. She's a wonderful student of this meditation who has been practicing this Raj Yoga meditation since 1974. She's implementing the teachings of the Raj Yoga meditation in her practical life. And whatever she has experienced, realizing the benefits of those, she is now taking that far to different countries, to different people, to different cultures. So she's also a management trainer. She's a counselor, spiritually speaking. She is an author. She's also a TV personality. Sometimes she's a friend. Sometimes she's a philosopher. Sometimes she is just a guide for many people around different places. She has done a lot of research on some of the great epics from India, such as Ramayana and Mahabharata. She has guided people to overcome mental stress, anxiety, and addictions, low self-esteem, things like that. We can always find her lectures on YouTube and in different platforms in English as well as in Hindi. She's been awarded with Hall of Fame award by the Public Relations Council of India in 2012. And many other places, like the Thailand government once gave her the award of Moral Award 2019 and a Peace Medal. In September 2019, she was also awarded and honored at the Los Angeles, USA prestigious award, which is called as G.O.D award, that is the Global Order of Dignitaries by the Princess of Philippines. She's been honored with the Ambassador of Spiritual Wellness. So she has a lot of awards in her bag because of the beautiful work she has been doing. And it is a great fortune that we will get to listen to her tonight on this beautiful topic about ego. How many of you came because of the topic? Can I see hand? Oh, because of the topic. Okay. Yeah, we all want to understand this little ego, right? Sometimes it's little and sometimes it's not that little. And we will be able to kind of know it, understand it, and realize how to free ourselves from it, because it is considered as an impurity, spiritually speaking. So we will have the screen down and we will get to see her. And I will call our sister Niti to come and welcome her with these beautiful flowers that she has brought. So, still a couple of minutes. Okay, she's here, she's here, she's here. Come up so she can see you. Hey. Om Shanti, greetings. Greetings, Usha Didi. We are a little unhappy that you're not in person, but we are very happy that you're there with us on Zoom. So here are flowers. Niti, come here, come this side. These are flowers for you that we want to offer, which we had brought for you. Thank you for being with us. And now the stage.
तहे दिल से आपका बहुत बहुत हार्मनी हाउस में वेलकम उषा दीदी.
Welcome. Okay, thank you. Can't hear.
We're not able to hear right now. You should be the co-host and unmute yourself. We're trying a couple things here, everyone. Hold on.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello and welcome. It's good to hear your voice. It's good to see your
Thank-
picture. And
Thank you, brother. And thank you to our sisters who welcomed me. It was a pleasure. It would have been a great pleasure if I would have been in personal with every one of you. But anyway, through the Zoom also, I'm able to see everyone and feel that you are all in front of me. Thank you very much for the very warm welcome. And our subject today is also very beautiful. And knowing and managing ego problems. Yes. Is there anyone who can define ego? Is there anyone who can define ego? Hello?
You want to say something? Once. Yeah.
most of them are muted so that we could hear you. And they all said ego is something we're going to learn more about tonight.
Okay. Beautiful. Actually,
The false ego,
false ego,
false
Right.
person.
false personality.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Anything
false
else?
person.
Anything else?
I and my, someone is saying here.
Yeah, I and my. That is a synonym for ego, but actual definition of ego.
Someone is saying personal sense of self-esteem.
Personal sense of self-esteem, right? Anything else? There is
As a body.
to consider the
I who's thinking myself as a body. Someone is
I who's thinking myself as the body. Okay. Okay, coming to the point, let me share something. There is one thing that we have been constantly doing in our lives, and that is thinking. We constantly go on thinking. Have you made the brother co-host, brother, so that he can show the slides? Eric bhai? Yeah. So there is one thing that we have been constantly doing, and that is thinking. Before coming to the definition of ego, thinking is constantly being done. We are constantly thinking, right? And it is said, as we think, so will be our feelings. So whatever our thoughts are, according to it, our feelings are going to be generated. If we have positive thoughts, positive feelings. If we have negative thoughts, it is negative feelings. And as we feel, accordingly will be our attitude, right? So thoughts creates feelings, and feelings create attitude. As we have the attitude, so will be our behavior. Actions will follow. Therefore, it is said, watch out for your thoughts as they are going to become your feelings, and watch out for the feelings as that is going to become your attitude. And as is your attitude, so will be your behavior, so will be your action, and accordingly will be your personality or character maybe. And as is your personality, so will be your destiny. So therefore it is said, according to religion, religion has always taught us that actions creates your destiny. As is your action, so will be your destiny. Therefore it is said, destiny is in your hands. Whatever actions we perform with our hands, so will be our destiny. This is what religion has taught us. Psychology has taught us, as is your thoughts, so will be your actions, so will be your destiny. So psychology went one step ahead to the roots, that as is your thoughts, so will be your behavior, actions, so will be your destiny. But what is it that is triggering my thoughts, whether positive or negative? It is my perception. As I would see, as I visualize, if I visualize with a negative attitude, definitely when my perception is negative, my thoughts will be changed, will be negative. If my perception is positive, my thoughts will be positive, right? What shapes my perception? Why do I have positive or negative perception? It is due to some or the other past experiences. If I had a negative experience from a person, definitely my vision towards him, my perception towards him will be negative. So it's on the basis of the experience. Now, let me ask you one more question. What gave me that experience? There was definitely something in the interaction between me and that person that gives me that experience. So what is it? Can anybody say? What gives me that experience? What was in the interaction? Yes? Anyone? What gives me what comes in between the interaction with the two people that gives that experience, positive or negative?
Karma.
Karma, yeah. But what comes in the karma? There is something that is mingling in the karma, and that is either values or weaknesses. Either values or weaknesses that comes in between. If there are values, definitely I will get a very good experience. The person is maybe very polite, very gentle, and very kind, compassionate. So definitely my experience will be also such. But if the person is angry, if the person is having jealousy, hatred, then my experience will be also such, right? So what comes in the interaction? It is either my value system, my own values, or my weaknesses that comes in between that gives me that experience, right? Now, If you are talking to your seniors, maybe at the office, if you are talking to your seniors, and if your senior is rude, is not behaving in a gentle manner, but still, because he's your senior, what would you say? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll definitely see. I'll definitely do it. And maybe you're not happy with how he is behaving, but still you have to be gentle because he's your senior. But supposing he's your junior, and if he has done the same mistake, then what will happen? What will be in the interaction? A natural stimulation will be of any weakness, that is, anger may burst out, and we'll be so rude to that person. Maybe we will be harsh to that person, we'll be using strong words. So what is it that does not allow me to be rude in front of my seniors? And what is it that allows me to be rude in front of my juniors? Why does the values come out in front of the seniors? Why does weakness come out in front of the juniors? What is it that brings it out? Isn't it? That is the belief system. Whatever I believe that he's my senior. When I believe that he's my senior, naturally, my values will be presented. I'll be gentle, I'll be kind, I'll be very polite in my talking also, in my behavior. But towards the juniors, so I believe that he is junior to me. I can say anything to him. So when I believe that, so belief triggers the values or the weaknesses. And it is automatically. So religion taught us, as is your action, so is your destiny, right? Psychology teaches us, as is your thoughts, so is your actions, so is your destiny. But spiritual science teaches us one step more further, and that is to the roots. As is your belief, so will be your thoughts, and so will be your actions, and so will be your destiny. So in short, we can say, whatever you believe becomes true for you, that will be your destiny. So belief shapes your destiny. Now, how is that possible? I'll just give you an example. And that the best example I can think of it is, maybe there is in a corporate, in a big company, there is the CEO of the company. And in that company, there are some union problems going on. Now, supposing one day, a union leader comes to meet the CEO. And he comes and tells the secretary, I would just like to have 10 minutes of the CEO. I just want 10 minutes, that's all, nothing more. So the secretary says, please be seated, I'll get you the time. So she goes in and she tells the CEO that this union leader wants 10 minutes of yours. So the CEO says, union leader? Definitely some demands. And he'll spoil my day today. Do one thing, give him time in the evening, give him 10 minutes in the evening. So the secretary comes out and says, well, today is quite busy, but anyway, in the evening, you can get 10 minutes. The CEO has agreed and he'll meet you for 10 minutes in the evening. So what happens that this union leader says, okay, and he goes to work. He works the whole day. In the evening, he comes back because he's given the time. So he comes back to meet the CEO. Now, the CEO had some urgent work. So he had called from somewhere. So he had to leave the office in the afternoon after lunch, and he had to go somewhere. So in the evening, when the union leader comes, he is not able to meet him. So the secretary says, well, he's gone out and he won't return today. He has said that he can meet you tomorrow morning. So the next day morning, when the union leader again comes at 9 o'clock, and the secretary says, well, they have a board meeting and all the board members have come. So the meeting has started from 8 o'clock and is busy in the board meeting. Try it in the evening. So again in the evening he comes. Again when he comes in the evening, the secretary says, well, they have some urgent meeting somewhere in the hotel and they have gone there. So he's not able to meet the CEO. Then the third day, the union leader puts a leave for 10 days and he's gone. So within those 10 days, he could not meet him. After 10 days, it happened so coincidentally that the union leader's car also enters the gate and the CEO is also entering through the gate. And that time, the CEO happened to see him. And then he had a thought. He had come 10 days back. But after that, he was not to be seen. I hope everything is all right. I hope there is no problems that is being created. So as soon as he goes to the office, he says to the secretary, please call that person. Call the union leader who had come 10 days back. I would like to see him. So the message was sent and he comes. So the CEO is asking him, what was the problem? You wanted my time. So please let me know. So the union leader says, well, I had come that day, but you were very busy. And so I was not able to meet you. Oh yes, I was so busy. I had so much meetings going on. We are entering a new project. We are going into something new. So there were a lot of people who had come from faraway lands also, and we wanted to meet them also. So I'm sorry I could not meet you, but please let me know. What is it that you wanted? So the union leader says, well, whatever I had come for, it's over. I have nothing to say now. So the CEO said, well, it is good if it is over, but still I would like to know. I would like to know. And he insists so much that the union leader said, 10 days back when I had come here, it was my son's wedding. I had come to give you an invitation. But I think you have no time for us. You're so busy. And the CEO said, well, I'm so sorry, but I still congratulate you. No, but it's no point now. Everything is over. 10 days have passed by. Now, what will be the destiny in the company? Will there be problems or solutions? Understanding between the management and the union? Definitely there will be problems, no solutions. And why this destiny is there? What came in between? The belief. The first day, the belief came in between. Union leader, definitely some demands. He'll spoil my day today. Supposing if he had challenged his own belief and he would have welcomed him, oh, please come in, whatever it is. If he would have welcomed him and said good morning to him, how are you, how are things going on, in a friendly way. And then if the union leader would have just presented that invitation card for the wedding, and if he would have congratulated him at that time, And if he would have sent somebody from the company with a token of love for his son on the day of the wedding, what would be the destiny? Understanding or problems? So this is how belief shapes the destiny. Belief shapes the destiny. Therefore, it is said, whatever you believe comes true for you. It happens practically. Now, when a person is having the belief and he is attached to that belief, if we further see the slide, that when there is deep connection with that belief, and when the person is holding on to that belief, when there is a deep attachment, whatever I say is right, whatever I do is right. If that attachment is there with the belief, no, whatever I've thought was true. When this attachment is there, then the person starts living in illusion. So then there is illusion. He feels he's right, but he's not right. And anybody can challenge that belief that he's wrong. So when there is attachment, that attachment leads to illusion. The person starts living in illusion, and he feels as if everybody is accepting his own belief. When there is illusion, then there is resistance. Resistance to the ideas of others. We are not ready to accept the ideas of others. Because I feel whatever I believe is completely true. So there is resistance to the ideas of others. And when there is resistance, there is fear. There is fear. Why? Fear of being challenged. Fear of being hurt. When we say fear of being hurt, who's going to be hurt? It's the ego. It's the ego that is going to be hurt. Fear of being criticized. Who's going to be criticized? The ego. That he thinks himself to be so great. And when he's not. So fear of being hurt, fear of being criticized, fear of being failure, fear of non-cooperation from people. Whenever this fear is there, that fear is equal to ego. And therefore, wherever there is this clash of egos between two people, what do they say? Let go. Let go. What is it that we have to let go? Let go. Let go of the belief that you are holding on to. So let go. Let go means let ego go. Let go that belief that you are holding on to. And therefore, when a person is able to let go, he lives in freedom. There is true freedom that he experiences. If he's not able to let go and he's holding on to it, the more he's holding on to it, the more clashes there are going to be with people. All of them who's around. So, in short, if we can say, if we want to define ego, the definition of ego is, ego means, if we see the definition of ego, the definition of ego is what? What can we say? The definition of ego is the attachment to a wrong image of myself or a belief that I've created about myself. This is ego. This is the real definition of ego. It's the attachment to a wrong image or a wrong belief that I've created about myself, and I feel I am that. Right? Therefore, it is said that we need to let go. Let go of the wrong belief that I have created about myself. Let go of that attachment to that wrong belief. If I'm not able to let it go, then day by day, I'm going to become a victim of it. And that will be very difficult, because every time it is going to give me a pain. Every time it is going to hurt me. Every time I feel people are going to criticize me on the basis of that. Right? So, in order to let go, what do we need? In order to let go, there is always a fear. And whenever there is a fear, fear comes with a message. And the message is, fear is the messenger. So wherever there is ego, there is fear. Fear of being hurt, fear of being criticized. So the fear is the message. So whenever we have fear, check. And fear is the message. What is the message? That there is something I need to let go. I'm holding on to something. And when I'm holding on to it, it's going to give me pain. So I need to let go. So fear, wherever there is fear, fear means a message that has come to tell me that there is something I need to let go. And in order to let go, I need courage. So courage is the ability to let go of that belief that the fear is real, because fear is not real. It is created on the basis of that illusion. Wherever there is attachment, there is illusion. So it is on the basis of that illusion that the fear is there. So I need to let go of, I need to have the courage to let go and to understand that this fear is an illusion. It's not real at all. Otherwise, what will happen if I don't let go? What is going to happen? If I don't let go, then there will be emotional attacks, a heart attack, right? There will be a heart attack. And emotion, this word comes from E plus motion. E means energy, energy in motion. And how is this disturbance of the energy? The disturbance of the energy of my consciousness, when the object of attachment with which I have identified is threatened or moved. Whenever, so wherever there is ego, there is heart attack. That energy in motion is disturbed because it is in my consciousness. And the attachment is so deep, and whenever it is threatened or moved, then definitely there is going to be heart attack. So nowadays in the world, heart attacks are increasing. Why? Why heart attacks are increasing? Because ego is increasing. That is why heart attacks are also increasing. Everybody cannot take it because they feel as if they are right. Whatever they believe is true. And they are not able to accept others' ideas. So there is a resistance. And when the resistance is there, definitely they are going to be hurt. It is going to hurt them, right? So emotional attacks or heart attacks are increasing day by day. Small children are having heart attacks, 14-year, 16-year children, because their ego is also boosted up so much that they are not able to accept anyone. They have so deep attachment to their whatever they believe, that is right. Right? So this is why knowing the ego. Now, how do we manage our feelings? What do we do? How do we manage us? Otherwise, we are going to become a slave of it. So the path that leads us to become a slave of that emotion. What is the path? There are 5 A's. 5 A's. The first A is attention. How do we become a slave to this emotion? The path is 5 A's, and the first A is attention. Second A is attraction. I'll be going through the whole thing. Third A is attachment. And when that attachment increases, then the fourth A is addiction. And then definitely whenever there is addiction, we have to pay a price for it. We have to pay a price for it, and that is atonement. So these are the 5 A's which makes us a slave to that emotion. Right? How? Let me give you an example. There is a young boy, and that young boy has finished his graduation, and he has become an architect. He has so many creative ideas, and he's an architect. And as soon as he comes from his university home, he tells his father, I don't know what I should do, whether to join any firm of architects so that I get some experience, or to start my own business. So as they were discussing the pros and cons of everything, it happens so an uncle comes to their home. So when an uncle comes to their home, the uncle, seeing the young boy, says, oh, so you are back home from the university? So have you completed? So he says, yes, uncle, I've completed my graduation and my university, I have masters. So the uncle says, so what have you mastered in? So he says, I've mastered in, I'm an architect now. So the uncle congratulates him. And then he asked him, so what have you thought about? Are you going to join a firm of architects? Or are you going to start your own business or something? So he said, this is what we were talking about with my father. We are still not sure what to do. So the uncle says, okay, till then, I have a piece of land and I want to build something. So he shares his idea. And when he shares his idea, he says, I want to utilize this piece of land. But can you give me some drawings of the elevation and everything? How would you go about with this? So he says, sure. And he was so happy to get his first project. He's very happy. So he has a lot of creative ideas. And with those creative ideas, he designs some beautiful elevation of a building, how it would be like, and 3-4 elevations he has designed. And he, within a week or so, he goes to meet that uncle with all the designs. So when the uncle sees the designs, he's so happy. And he says, well, you have done a good job. And these are so beautiful. It is becoming difficult for me to choose which one. Finally, he chooses one. And he says, I like this thing. So he says, okay, now you do one thing. I will call my contractor and you can discuss with him and please make this building ready. I would like to see it come up. So he meets the contractor and they have exchanged their ideas and whatever they had thought about, he goes on with that elevation and the whole building design. Now the building is coming up. Now whoever passes by from that road, they start talking with one another. Who is the architect of this building? Is bringing so beautiful building. So everyone is trying to find out who is the architect of this building. Such a beautiful elevation. And he has made this piece of land so beautiful. So they ask the person who owns the land, who is your architect? So that person says, well, I'll introduce all of you to that person. Don't worry. And so the day comes. And when the day comes, the inauguration of that building is to be held. So everyone gets the invitation. And the invitations are distributed. Everyone gathers there. And then in that gathering, when the inauguration ceremony takes place and he is sharing the story that who is the architect of this building. So he says, today I'm going to introduce you to this young boy who has so creative ideas. And he praises him so much. And that is the time, first time this young boy gets an attention. The first A gets an attention, really? And everybody comes after the program also, everybody comes and starts taking his name and phone numbers and they congratulate him. You have done a good job, good elevation. You have very good creative ideas. So then that night he could not sleep. He was so happy. And his attention, what did people like most in this building? He was thinking upon it. Maybe they like this, maybe they like this, maybe they like this thing. So he's constantly thinking and the whole night he couldn't sleep. The next day, he feels as if he wants to see that building again. So he goes by that side and from far away, standing there, from his car, he's looking at that building and that elevation and he's giving his energy. He's giving his energy to that building. And the more he's looking at that building, he is getting attracted to his own creation. So the second A, attraction towards his own creation. So first the attention, then from the next day, the attraction is there. Then the more he is thinking about it after coming home also, and he feels, well, this is my first project and everybody has appreciated it. Everybody has liked it. So gradually as the more energy is giving to that project, the more he's getting attached to it. And then he feels, well, I'm so young, but I'm liked by everyone. Everyone is appreciating me. So he feels as if he's the best architect in that city. And he gets addicted to it, to that belief. He feels as if I'm the best architect. There are so many architects, but still people are appreciating me so much. That means they've never seen such a building before. So gradually he's getting addicted and he's holding on to that belief. I am the best. I am the best. There is no one better than me. And then somebody else comes with a project. Well, we have heard a lot about you, and we think you have done a good job. So we have a piece of land. We would like to develop these things. Can you give us an elevation? So, and the design of a building. So again, he puts his creativity and he gives the other elevation, which is also very beautiful. They also got it done, and then they also appreciated whatever drawings he had done, and everybody is like talking. He becomes the talk of the town. He's a nice fellow. He's having such good ideas, such creativity, and everybody likes him. Now then someone else comes, the third party comes. And when the third party comes, they said, look, we have a piece of land. We have heard a lot about you. And we have seen the 2 buildings before you have made. They were very good. But look, we do not have that much of budget. Our budget is low. And we would like to have a little bit more simple, not very hi-fi, not very posh. We would like to make it simple because our budget is low. So can you give us some simple designs so that maximum of the place is used? It's not wasted. Because we have seen in the first 2 buildings, some spaces were just wasted. So then he feels, how can they say such things to me when I've designed and everybody is appreciated? How can they say this to me? And if I make a very simple building for them in their low budget, what will people talk about me? They would say, oh, he's an ordinary person. The third design he doesn't have. He have done 2 designs and that's it, finish. Now he's come to the simpler designs. So what will they say? So he resists. And what does he say? Technically, there are certain things that has to be there and it can't be possible, this, that, etc. Whatever he had to say, he mentions that. And when he mentions that, those people say, okay, we'll find somebody else. If you can't do it, we will find somebody else. Now, he doesn't want to let go also that those people, that party who has the plot, and he can't do also. He doesn't want to do it more simple things. So finally he says, when they say, okay, we'll find somebody else if you can't do it. So he lets them go. And then he has a fear of being criticized. What will people talk about me? What will they say about me? They will definitely criticize that he is thinking too great of himself. Maybe they may have such thoughts. But anyway, I can't lower my standard. I am going to be exclusive only. And after that, he has to pay the price because whoever is coming, and when they get this feedback that he is not going to go for a simple thing, he wants hi-fi, he wants something big, he wants a name, he is so much having ego in him, he won't go for a simple thing. So ego. And he has to pay the price for it then. He has to pay the people stop coming to him. They feel he's too egoistic. So after 2 projects, he's not getting some project because of his ego. And being young, and in a young age only when he got 2 success, his ego has risen so much. And that is why he has to pay the price. People are not coming to him, and he has to be humble in order to get the projects. He can't say no for simple things also. It is everyone's own ideas. Why does he have to reject? So This is how a person becomes a slave to that emotion, a negative emotion, attention, attraction, attachment, addiction, and atonement. These are the 5 A's that make him a slave to this emotion. Now, how to heal ourselves? If we are hurt, definitely we need to heal ourselves. So how do we manage and heal that emotion? Another 5 A's. Another 5 A's. And which are those 5 A's? In order to manage and heal that emotion, the first A is awareness. The second A is acknowledgement. The third A is acceptance. The third A is acceptance. And fourth A is then ascend. And the fifth A is attune. So these are the other 5 A's which manage and heal the hurt emotion. What do we mean by these 5 A's? Let me come to this point. First, when we say awareness, awareness of what? I'll share a small story with you all, right? And the story goes that there was once a Guruji, a spiritual leader, and he had a beautiful ashram, and he had a disciple who used to look after whatever he was doing. He used to help him in everything. So, one day the Guruji thought that I would like to go for my further spiritual endeavors. I'd like to go into the Himalayas, because there are very ancient spiritual leaders, and if I meet and talk to them and exchange ideas, maybe I will increase my learning, my knowledge, my wisdom. So he thought of going to Himalayas for some time and doing penance. So he calls upon his disciple and says, well, I would like to go to the Himalayas. Can you look after the ashram in my absence? So he says, yes, I can do that. Not a big problem. So then he tells the disciple, look, today it's late evening now, and I have tomorrow, I'll leave day after tomorrow. Okay? And if you have any questions regarding the ashram, you can ask me tomorrow, because still I'm here tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, I'll leave. But one thing, remember, tomorrow is my day of silence. I won't be speaking. But even though if you have anything to ask me, I'll just write it down for you on a piece of paper and I'll give you the answers, whatever answers you want. So the disciple says, okay, fine. And they both go to sleep. And the next day morning, when the disciple got up, he thought, let me ask the Guruji, in his absence, what is it that I have to pay more attention to? So he goes up to the Guruji and says, Guruji, I'd just like to know one thing. What is it that I have to pay more attention to in your absence? It was the day of silence for the Guruji. So he took up a piece of paper and a pen, and he wrote down a word on that piece of paper and gave it to the disciple. And the word was awareness. So the disciple looks at that piece of paper, awareness, that's all. I can do that. I think I can do that. That's not a big thing. I will constantly stay in awareness. Definitely, I can do that. And he goes out of the room. But after going out again and again, when he removes that piece of paper and looks at that piece of paper, awareness, awareness, and he starts getting confused. What does the Guruji mean by this word, awareness? He didn't even explain. He wrote nothing before, nothing after. So he's getting so confused with that word. So he again comes back to the Guruji and says, Guruji, can you please elaborate this word? Something before, something after? So again, Guruji takes the same piece of paper, adds one word before and one word after. And the word before is also awareness. The word after is also awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. And gives it to the disciple. So the disciple, looking at that piece of paper on which 3 words are written, and it's the same words, awareness, awareness, awareness. So he thinks, well, I think the Guruji wants me to constantly stay aware. So I have to be aware. I think that's easy for me. Nothing difficult, no problem. I can do it. But as he goes out and again takes out that piece of paper and is looking at those 3 words, again there is confusion that is created. What does the Guruji try to tell me? He has not mentioned what he wants me to do. So when he's getting confused, then he goes to the Guruji again and he says, Guruji, can you please tell me, awareness, awareness, awareness is equal to what? So the Guruji again takes that piece of paper and writes, is equal to awareness. Well, the message was very simple, but it was very difficult for the disciple to understand. The Guruji was trying to say, when you have a position on, and when you are responsible for something, you have to be aware of the quality of thoughts you generate. You have to be aware of the quality of feelings you generate for people who are coming to your ashram. You have to be aware of the quality of attitude you have towards everyone who is coming as a seeker. You have to be aware of the quality of your actions because you have to become an example for others. So this one word had so many messages. He had to be constantly aware of the quality of thoughts, attitude, feelings, actions, everything. What is that place where he has not to be aware of? But he was getting confused because he was not getting the explanation of it. So awareness. In order to manage and heal your emotion, we have to be constantly aware of what is it that is hurting me. What is it that is creating a fear in me? What is it that I'm holding on to it? I have to be aware of it. After having that awareness, which Baba also tells us many a times, you have to be constantly the embodiment of awareness. Not only that, but acknowledging the second A. The second A means acknowledging what the awareness that we are having inside. Yes. Having this positive energy in it. and accepting. So it's not just awareness, but together with awareness, it is acknowledging. And with that acknowledgement, then acceptance. Yes, if somebody gives us a correction, somebody advises us, if somebody wants to get some things clear, we need to be available and accept whatever there is that they have, or either we need to explain them everything very clearly. So acceptance. And then only we are able to ascend. If there is no acceptance, no ascending, then you start falling down in the pit of that ego. So we need to rise. We need to move forward. We need to ascend. So when we are able to ascend, how are we able to ascend? When we realize that whatever is happening, and if somebody has told me, I need to have that realization and accept what they have said, and accordingly, I need to bring a change. When I'm able to bring that change, then I ascend. I move forward in life. And then we are able to attune ourselves with the Supreme Being also. If I'm not able to ascend, I can't attune myself. So, awareness, acknowledging, acceptance, ascend, and attune. Because when I attune myself with the Supreme Being, then he starts healing me. With his rays of light and might, it allows me to feel stronger inside. It starts healing me inside, right? So this is the 5 A's, first 5 A's that makes us the slave, and the second 5 A's helps us to manage and heal our emotion. Now, if we want to master the feelings, not just heal, but after healing, we need to master them. How can we do that? So for that, 5 D's, which will enable me to master my feelings. And the first D is disidentify the self. With whatever you are identifying yourself or holding on to, we need to separate ourselves. Disidentify. The second D is then detach. Get detached from us. Far away, visualize. And you'll be able to see whatever is happening. So first, disidentify, be detached observer, and observe the scenes. The third D is then discriminate where the flaw is. What is it that is going wrong? So we need to discriminate, discern. Then the fourth D is then take accurate decisions. If you are able to be a detached observer and see things and identify where the flaw is, you are able to discriminate, discern, then you'll be able to take accurate decisions of what has to be done. And then the fifth D is then there is determination. If the decisions are accurate, then whatever you're going to do is going to be done with great determination. And therefore, it is always said, determination leads to success. So 5 ways that makes a slave, 5 ways that manage and heal, and then 5 D's that enables us to master the feelings. When we say disidentify, what do we really mean? Supposing I like this chair very much, and I get attached to this chair, and I feel I don't want to get up from this chair. Now, if somebody asks me to move to that door, and I do not want to leave this chair, I'm so attached, and I'm moving with the chair, I'm going to that gate, what will happen? My complete body shape will take the shape of the chair, and everybody is going to laugh at me. Seeing the way I'm moving, everybody can realize what attachment. Someone may say also, look, if you want the chair there, why don't you just get up and take the chair with you? But no, I don't want to get up. I'm so attached. Isn't it? So first of all, similarly, I need to disidentify myself with the belief, the wrong belief that I'm holding about myself. I need to disidentify and then become a detached observer and visualize. Take up a bird's view and you'll be able to see everything very clearly. If I'm so attached, I will be able to see only this much, which is around me. But when I'm detached and I take up a bird's view, I'm able to see a greater part. I'm able to see and visualize more and things as they are. So then it becomes easy for me to discriminate right and wrong, what is good, what is bad. And then I'm able to take the decisions which will be accurate. And when the decisions are accurate, it gives me confidence, it gives me power, which becomes the determination. And this is how determination leads to success. So this is how we master our feelings, right? This is the roadmap. Now, just as you must have read the book of Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Have you read them? 7 habits. Today we'll give you 7 habits of highly enlightened people. And which are those 7 habits that we saw in today's lecture? The first is that the 7 habits of highly enlightened people. The first and foremost is be quiet. Why do we have to be quiet? In order to arise your self-awareness. We have to quieten the mind. If the mind is having so many thoughts, and if we are holding on to those thoughts, negative thoughts, waste thoughts, we are not able to rise that awareness, self-awareness. So first habit is calm down. Calm your mind. Make your mind quiet. When the mind is quiet, you are able to develop self-awareness. Then, as soon as the awareness is done, let go. So when you quieten your mind, then let go. And when you let go, what happens? You experience freedom. You become free. From what? So what do we need to let go? To let go of that bad habit or whatever belief that we are holding on to. Then the third habit is let be. We are all human beings. So let us be. And when we be what we are, we experience true freedom. We experience real freedom. So we need to be and let be to experience that freedom. Then the fourth habit is listen in. Go within and listen. What do we have to listen to? That deep core of your intuition. Listen to that deep core, something it's telling you. When you let go, you experience real freedom. It tells you something very beautiful. Listen to that. After listening, wake up. We are not doing what we are supposed to do. So wake up. It's a wake-up call. And wake up, and then we are able to do something beautiful. Right? After waking up, then know yourself, know your potential. Whatever message you have got from your deep core of intuition, and you wake up, but then know your potential. Just become aware of your capabilities, of the skills you have, of whatever strengths you have, and where your weakness is. We have to know both the strengths and the weaknesses. And then the last habit is then pass on. Go ahead, move forward. Anything that comes, we have to pass on. We learn a lesson from whatever has happened. And don't hide. Oh, no. Pass on. Anything that has come, have to pass on. So we need to pass on whatever good things we have to our children also, to our juniors also, to whoever is working with us. Let us pass on, and that increases my inner treasures. Enables me to feel as if there is something that I have enriched myself with. So these are the 7 habits of highly effective people. So knowing and managing the ego problems, first of the self, not of others. First of the self. Because if I am able to heal myself, if I am able to really master my feelings, then I can lead everyone through my own example. I can guide anyone, right? Any questions? Any questions? Yes? Anyone? Anyone has any questions? Nobody? No one has any question? That is wonderful. I have a wonderful audience who was so satisfied, so contented.
I have a question.
Playing
Yes,
so
please.
well.
Please, yes. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can people who have the ego get help from other people who point out certain negative traits, or do they have to realize themselves in order to progress?
Yeah, it is better if we realize ourselves. But if somebody also is a friend and tries to tell me, then definitely appreciate. Otherwise, first of all, I need to find myself. Whenever you have this fear, fear is the message. So listen to that message. What is it that I'm holding? Why am I having this fear? Definitely there is something I'm holding on to.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I have one question.
Yeah, yes.
Can you
Yes,
guide
sister.
me?
Yes, sure,
how
sure.
I get many fears. That is very true in my heart. So I want, if you can guide me in couple of guidance with
That
your.
is why it is said, wherever there is fear, wherever there is ego, there is the fear of being insulted, being criticized, being hurt. So just look at it. What is it that I am having fear of? Which fear? And then we need to create that awareness. Where is it that I'm holding on to? What is it that I'm holding on to? When I'm able to, because everyone has their own fears, definitely.
Yes, I don't have ego at all, but
We feel
for
that we don't have, but that fear is the message that there is some ego.
oh,
There is some attachment to a wrong belief, which I have identified with myself. And I'm holding on to, but I'm not letting it go because I feel I am right. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So wherever there is fear, fear is the message. So try to analyze your own self. Try to just go be introvert and look at yourself. What is it that you're holding? And you'll come to know.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Om Shanti.
Om
Should-
Shanti.
Shuddha
Yes,
Ahankar and Ashuddha
yes,
Ahankar.
brother. It's not
The,
clear.
what's the difference between a good ego and a bad ego? I mean, like Shuddha Ahankar, Ashuddha Ahankar. Is there something
There
called
is
Shuddha Ahankar?
no good ego. There is no good ego. Ego is always bad. But yes, what you mean to say is self-respect. Self-respect is opposite of ego. So what you say, good ego means self-respect. If you are in the self-respect, you are open. You respect everyone's feelings. You do not resist. That is self-respect. We respect the self. We respect others' ideas also. And we inculcate, keep ourselves open. So then there is no fear because you are humble. You have that humility to accept. Understand? And bad ego means it's ego. Ego is always bad. It is never good. Yes? Anything else?
Om Shanti, sister. Thank you for your service and thank you for being here. I
Yeah.
have a question. As you mentioned, you're the master of the emotion when you gave the disidentify.
Yeah.
So, is it before the emotion? Is it always disidentify the thought? Once we disidentify the thought, then doesn't come into the emotions. So this
Yeah.
is a little confusion for
Yeah.
me.
What happens that your quality of thoughts then creates that feelings. We saw in the beginning, as you think, so you are going to feel. So the quality of thoughts is going to create those feelings. So when you are able to disidentify yourself, that awareness is clear. The awareness becomes very clear of what is the quality of feelings that you have.
But we are
And-
disidentified through the thoughts level, so it doesn't come to the feelings.
Yeah, if you disidentify yourself from that which you are holding on to, you need to separate yourself. When you are able to separate, you are able to see things as they are. So then you master your feelings. Once you are separate from those feelings, once you are separate from that slavery, then you are able to easily master yourself.
Okay, yes, separate from our old belief system,
Yes,
belief
yes,
thought.
yes.
Yes, okay, got it.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
sister.
Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister. Can you explain a little more the disidentifying part of our feelings? Like we have heard identifying the feelings, but disidentifying is the opposite.
Disidentifying the self from the wrong feelings that you're holding about somebody, about the self. Mostly it is of the self. Somebody has not even said anything, but because they are busy and they are caught up in their own ideas, they didn't speak with you. And you start creating negative feelings. Oh, maybe it was this, maybe it was like that. That is why they did not talk to me. So these wrong feelings. So disidentify yourself from those feelings. Right?
Okay.
When you are able to disidentify yourself, be detached, you are able to see them as they are. You are able to generate good wishes for those people also. And they will also reciprocate it to that, whatever we are giving. Definitely they will respond to them.
So we are identifying those feelings that we are emerging, and then we are removing ourselves from those feelings is
Yes.
disidentifying. Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself more
Right.
and more every time if you don't disidentify.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
I just have a question because fear is of many reasons, right?
Yeah.
So, is it always due to the vice of ego, or it
Yes.
could be different things,
Yes.
different vices?
Yes. It is
Okay.
due to ego. Some small ego also is there, which is pulling us.
Uh-huh.
And that is why it is creating that fear.
Okay. So sometimes it could be attachment, right? Because we are attached to something, and
Attachment.
we have the fear of losing and things like that.
Yeah,
So
attachment to any ideas. My attachment to a human being is also because of some ideas I want
yes.
from that person. Maybe that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
That also is kind of ego, but it is more, it can be a multiple factors.
Yes. It can be multiple. Yeah.
Thank you, sister. It is our fortune to listen to you today.
Yes.
Thank you for making it.
Yeah, Usha man, thank you. The connection was not good, so I couldn't respond you back. But that's the best response I got for a good ego. That is the self-respect is what is really needed. And thank you for making it clear. Very, very nice.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I've always been taught that fear means false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard that definition before.
Yes.
Now, how does that apply to your ego?
Yeah, that's a very good question. What happens that whatever false identification I'm holding onto, now I may not realize at that time, but again and again, when there is resistance from people, maybe, and I feel every time I feel hurt, I feel I'm giving very good ideas, but people are not accepting. So then we have this feeling, why? Why is it? And I'm not able to see myself. And when I'm not able to see myself because I am identifying myself with those ideas that these are true, this is correct. So why is it that is not accepted by people? Understand? You get me?
So is it the belief that you have or the belief that they have that is wrong?
The belief of what you have. We are not talking about others' ego because I need to manage my ego first. We cannot manage anybody else's ego. We cannot heal anybody else because unless and until they want to get healed. But at least, as the golden rule says, all this which I have shown in the slides, it is for the self, not for anyone else. I cannot guide anyone because if the person's mind is closed and if they are holding on to their beliefs and they're not willing to change, then I'm trying to hit my head into them and I'm asking them to change, please realize. But my feelings are very good, definitely, for them that they should improve, but they don't want to. So it is better for me to heal myself than trying to heal others.
So the best solution is to be quiet.
Yeah, you have to be quiet. Because if they don't accept, then it's no point in hitting your head into them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? What? So let us
Sister
sit
Usha.
in silence for some time then. Yes, anyone had some question or anything?
Can we see the slide for the 7 habits of the spiritual yogis again, please?
The 7 habits.
Or with the recording he
I'll
shared?
just mention it to you. First is be quiet. And when you are quiet, then you create that awareness within the self. When the awareness is created, we know what do we have to let go. And then if I let go, then I need to be something. If I let go something, then where is it that I'm going to hold on to? Onto something very good. So some good qualities that I have, let me be that. And then listen inside, go deep, deep into that core. Listen to your intuition. It is going to talk to you. It is going to tell you something. And then don't just listen and that's it. Wake up. Now we need to do something. We want to do it. We are supposed to do it. Then see whether you know yourself, whether you have those strengths, whether you have those qualities. And then through your own example, you pass on to others. You become an example for others, right?
Thank you so much. Other question is, I have been Gyan for a few years, but often we feel that we are at the point that we do become ordinary and still see the old sanskars, that we keep battling with them because we get entangled with those sanskars of reacting to the people, to the situations, especially, there could be people, it's change in our way of living and doing things, coming to the Brahmin family and into Brahmin life. So what do you really recommend? How do we, because when we get entangled in those, we are identified with the thoughts of the mind, the anger, the irritation, or any kind of that stuff. And we feel that we become ordinary.
What happens, we have accepted ourselves with those sanskars since so many years. And we are being that. And that is why it becomes very difficult for us to really accept something new. Because I have been identifying myself with those sanskars since so many years, from childhood maybe. So then I can't let go. I feel that is my identity. I'm known because of that. But internally you feel they are wrong sanskars. They are not good. It is hurting you. And every time it is hurting others also. So when you realize that, that is the time when you need to look at yourself and bring about a change. In which way, you will have to find your own way. But you have to realize from the spiritual knowledge, from the spiritual wisdom, that maybe this is how I can go and I can heal myself from within. You will have to find the path yourself only. You have to create your path. You have to become your own master at that time. Because when other people are going to come and tell me, what do we say? Oh, it's not like that. We'll never accept. We'll never accept. Internally, I feel that whatever they are saying is right, but I can't show them, yes, this is my weakness or this is what I'm holding on to. So I'll never accept. But then that realization, and we have to create our own path to change. And then I'll have that confidence also. Right?
That note, Usha Ben, we are so happy that you were able to join us.
Yes.
Just to tell those who are listening that Usha Ben has had a very long day traveling to New York.
Came till Detroit and then came back.
And from halfway in the air, Usha Ben's flight went all the way back to Chicago. But
Yeah.
you have taken a lot of courage to also be with us this evening. And when
It has given me great satisfaction, great contentment inside.
you have spoken with full energy as though you have been fully rested.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, so we are also happy, and I'm sure everyone online and who were here all are happy and have taken a great deal of benefit. And I know that you haven't had your dinner and probably
It's
missed
okay.
lunch and all of that, but we're so happy that you were still able to join us on Zoom. So
Yes.
thank you. Is Satina, come give your
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you
So
so much.
We will
for
have you
being with
again. We will have you again. You couldn't
Sure.
be in person now, but we will have you whether on Zoom again to continue this very important conversation of becoming ego-less
Yes.
out of our lives. Thank
Yeah.
you, Shiva.
Thank you, Sister Anjani. Thank you, Usha Ben. It was so lovely. I feel that I have known you for many years, of course, and listening to all your sessions, your classes, it brings so much clarity. And that's why when I was listening today, it was like, oh, this is so beautiful. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And the biggest tip, I think, to understand that I have ego is that I have fear, and which is very visible, very clear. And thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Om Shanti. Thank you,
Om
everyone online. Really beautiful to see all of you. And whoever is present here, thank you so much for coming and being with us.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, everyone. Thank you. Just a minute of silence we will take.
Yes, sure.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Good night. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Everyone.
Om Shanti. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.